Hello everyone, my name is Haley, this is Data Girl Makes, and welcome in. This is going to be an update on my knitting for all of June and halfway through July. This is the first time I've been able to film without my husband being in the house, all of July so far. So yes, I'm a little nervous. I don't like filming in front of him. I'm scared. So not that he would judge me, but I'm just very shy. So today we have 2 finished objects and 2 works in progress, some acquisitions. So yeah, thank you for sticking around. Let's start with the finished objects, starting with the one I'm wearing. This is the Campsite Waffle cardigan by Alexandra Tavel, 2 of Wands. I started this April 26th. So right before May, and I finished it June 26th. So 2 months. 2 months. It took a long time to do this cardigan. And I will be taking this off in just a second because I am absolutely melting. The heat wave in Virginia is not a good time. Here's what it looks like. Some pictures that I took full length at the movie theater. I've been trying to spend as many hours as I can in a dark, cold room where I can actually wear a sweater. Thank you to the Movie Pass for that. Super happy with how this turned out. I've worn it a ton. I've put this through the washer and the dryer because that was one of the reasons why I chose this cotton, was because you can't put it through the dryer. I don't have to worry about my husband when he does the laundry, like accidentally ruining any of my stuff. So super excited about that. It turned out really nice. It like didn't shrink or stretch or anything. The stitches still look amazing, so that was a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, but I'm going to take this off and then we can get into the details of it. I knit the size extra large, and I could have went with the large and still gotten the same recommended ease, but I did go down 2 needle sizes. I'd used a US 8 for the entire thing. So including the ribbing, including the body panels and everything, I used a size 8. And that actually turned out really nice. I think my stitches look fantastic, like very clean and uniform. And I just was not getting that when I had the bigger needles. They were kind of like droopy and saggy, and this is some like really heavy cotton. This is the Lion brand Pima cotton in the color Spice. Fantastic. It looks so nice. It's warm without being like overly warm. It's still got a little bit of breathability to it. It is massive though, which is why it took me 2 months to knit it. Like, look at this back panel itself. Like, it's just massive. Another modification that I did was for the sleeves. In the pattern, it says to do the sleeves flat, just like cast on and then do kind of like a this shape and then the ribbing and then just like seam it up. I did not do that. I decided to seam up the back panel, the 2 front panels, and then I had a hole. Oh, I also seamed up the sides. So I had a hole for the sleeves, and I picked up the same amount that you would have cast on flat. I did that on both sides and then knitted them in tandem to get to my desired length. And that worked out super duper well. It did take forever because you're basically like doing twice as much work for the same amount of progress, it looks like. But that ended up working out really well because I do have like kind of shorter arms. Especially because I was like doing a different size and needle situation. So the measurements in the pattern were probably not going to match up exactly. So I would just like try it on and like kind of see where the sleeves were hitting me. We could see it's like the perfect length. Like, love it. You can see where the pattern, you can see here where I was doing the increases or the decreases, and because it's a waffle stitch, the pattern kind of converges in a weird way, but it's like, it's in my armpit. Like, who's looking at my armpit? If you are, you just have some interesting little triangle shapes to look at. But I think it turned out super well. I love knitting sleeves in tandem because it kind of feels like I'm gonna be like done, even though I wasn't. I still had to pick up the entire ribbing around the whole side and then knit that up. But I thought that part was not nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It did take a few days, but I was expecting that to take way longer. But overall, I love this project. I said this last time, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be knitting another sweater for forever. And then I immediately cast another one on like a month later. But I am feeling like this has filled a hole in my closet that I was missing. One of my favorite cardigans that was about this long died. It finally gave out after a decade, and I replaced it. So hopefully this will be the last sweater for me that I have to knit for an entire decade. And I'm very excited about that. Yes, so that was the campsite waffle cardigan. Let me check my Ravelry real quick, make sure that I said everything I wanted to say about it. Oh, as for yarn, that was a worsted weight yarn, the Pima cotton, and I used 9 1/4 skeins of it, so about 925 grams, which measures out to 1,720 yards. But again, I did some crazy modifications to like the sizing of it and everything, so maybe that's not super useful, but just for me, if you want to make the same size that I am, I'm like usually I wear a size large, about 9 1/4 skeins, and that turned out fine, and that was great. Yeah, it took forever. The yarn was good. The stitch definition is great. Yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to say about that. Perfect. Okay, so the next finished object that I have is this pair of socks. I finished these on June 28th. I literally think I gave myself carpal tunnel because I finished my sweater, and then the next day I finished these socks because I was just on a roll and I was ready to like get stuff done. So I stayed up super late both nights knitting my heart out, and I literally was getting like burning, shooting pains down my arm, and I was like, okay, you overdid it. Like, you're not doing that again. Like, my husband hid my knitting from me so that I couldn't knit for like 3 days because he was like, you're gonna give yourself carpal tunnel. You are not allowed to do that ever again. I'll insert this cute picture of my cat that I posted in the summer sock camp by TheCrazySockLady. She's hosting a make-along. I'm sure everyone knows about that. I don't know why I'm saying that, but you know what summer sock camp is. I posted this, and Archie was very popular. So here is the socks. I am so happy with how these turned out. These are a gift from my mother for Christmas. She has very wide feet. I had her measure like the widest part of her toes, and it was the size large in the vanilla socks. So I did 72 stitches around, I think this is 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, yeah, about 20 rounds for the cuff. I did 70 rounds for the leg, and then I knitted to a size 9, question mark? Yes, thank you to Past Me for putting it in my Ravelry page. If you want to check out my Ravelry, I am putting like, usually I just wait until they're done and I post them up there, unless I have something to say about them, then I'll put them as a work in progress. But I'm over at Haleyraz on Ravelry, so you can find me there. I'll put it in the description, I guess, maybe. I really love this yarn. This is Universal Yarn Bamboo Pop Sock yarn. Super soft. It's incredibly soft. Super fun to work with. The color is great. Like, it's got great color payoff. The stripes are so fun because you have like, all of these like blues and purples, and then you have like pink, and then my favorite part is these like just little tiny black like 4 or 5 stitches. There's some on this side too, just like a couple of stitches that are just completely black. I think that's so fun. Hopefully mom likes these. She did see me knitting them and she seemed very excited. I was taking these with me while I was working on my sweater at home. These were in my purse. So whenever I was in like a meeting, waiting on stuff in the car, I was just knitting along on these. I do the standard vanilla sock. I just do the heel flap and gusset, the regular toe. Super excited about these. I think they're so cute. I used about 75 grams on these because they are a size large, so each round is bigger, and they're 70 rounds for the leg and then a size 9. So they're pretty big socks. I ended up with about 25 grams left. Yeah, super happy with these. These are super cute. So what am I doing with that remaining 25 grams? I cast on another pair of socks. We are now into works in progress. So here is the first sock, and here is the second one. It is currently in progress. These are for me, little shorty socks. We have a couple of situations with this sock in particular. I weighed the little cake to see if I would have enough to do heels, toes, and cuffs for each of these, and it didn't look like I had quite enough to do heels, toes, and cuffs for both of them, so I decided to do one blue heel, and then on the other sock I'm doing the contrast cuff, heel, and toe. This was originally white. I'll put a picture here. Okay. I hated how it looked, and I was like, this is going to pick up all of the turmeric that, like, when I'm cooking and like drop turmeric on the ground, like it's gonna stain. Like anything that I step in, it's gonna be like all over it. I don't want to deal with that. Like, I'm trying to not like ruin these socks. I just wasn't loving the white, so I very chaotically knit all of this in white, put the rest of these stitches on hold, and then fully dyed, where's my dye? I brought it. Fully dyed this sock and a whole bunch of the yarn. I don't know where my dye is. I brought it. I don't know where it went. I used the Rit dye in indigo. I just put like a tiny little bit in some water, some like hot water. You can actually see where I had the stitches put on hold. There's a little bit of a color difference, but it's not that big of a deal. Oh, it's really bad over here. Don't look on that side. But I think they're cute. And then I did the contrast for the toe. Here is the remainder that I dyed indigo. I should have probably more than enough to finish the foot on my second sock, and then have some left over. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but yeah, I think it's super cute. Love this color. I love how this looks way more than the white. I did get a little bit of dye up in the cuff, especially on this side, but they're for me. I don't really care. Yeah, I'm very excited about these. I am into the heel flap, the contrast heel flap on this side. I have this much left to do the rest of the heel flap and the toe, and I think I should have enough. I'm not like super worried about it. And then like worst case scenario, I'll just break into this. Because again, they're for me, and I'm just doing this for fun. Yeah, I think it's cute. I'm doing 20 rounds. No, not 20 rounds. I think I'm doing 15 rounds. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I did 16 rounds for the cuff, 10 rounds for the leg, and then I started on the heel flap. So yeah, these are gonna be short. They come up like right where my ankle bone is, if that helps. I'll probably put a picture when they're both done of how they're hitting me when I'm wearing them. But yeah, I think they're super practical, very cute. I do have a bit of a tragic situation where my very first pair of socks that I used the bamboo pop sock for, they have a hole right, this is not them, but like right here where when I'm stepping, like right where like the ball of my foot is, they have acquired a hole. And now I definitely wore them to the gym, like wasn't even thinking about it. I just put them on because I love them, and I wore them to the gym and then like walked up a hill basically for 30 minutes, destroying them. They've also accidentally been in the dryer a few times, which you're not supposed to do that with this yarn. So very sad. I'm gonna have to look into how to fix that. I've seen a couple of videos on Pinterest on people like just like sewing like a bunch of pieces of yarn and then like picking up the stitches and all of that stuff. So I'll do that. I'll fix them and they will be fine. But very sad to see the hole in my beautiful first pair of socks that I ever made. So hopefully this yarn holds up. I love how it feels. It's kind of the only sock yarn that I can use. And we're about to get into that. So pray for me in these socks. Pray that these hold up a little bit better. I will not be wearing them to the gym. These are not gym socks. I will need like, I don't know, 100% nylon or something socks for those. My other work in progress is a Musselburgh hat. Let me get my measuring tape out. I'm about 6.5 inches into it, including the increases. If you are loving this yarn, this is from veganyarn.com. This is their sock base. I don't know how to say the word, but it is their sock base. And I was like, sick. I would love more socks sock yarn that I can use because I can't use wool. So I was like, oh, I love the idea of trying out a new sock yarn base. I cast on a pair of socks. I wonder if I have a picture. If I do, it'll be right here. Otherwise, I will put a cute picture of my cat. Yeah, I tried. I cast on a pair of socks and I got a pretty decent way through. I got all the way through the gusset decreases, and I think I was still dealing with like that carpal tunnel issue. So that might be part of it. Because my hands were like cramping. This yarn is extremely stiff, especially compared, I don't know if I'll be able to like show that. But like here is the bamboo pop sock that I'm used to using. And then this is the vegan yarn. It's like thicker. There's less drape to it. It feels very stiff. Even my husband, when I had him feel it, he's like, yeah, it's like extremely stiff. Which is fine and probably would honestly hold up a lot better than the nice, soft bamboo pop sock yarn. But my hands, just at that moment, were not having it. And I was like, I cannot do it on these tiny needles with this stiff yarn. Like, it hurt. So I instead ripped it all out and immediately cast on just another Musselburgh on US 4. I went with the 4. 3.5 millimeter needles, magic loop. And that has worked out super well. As you can see, even with the size 4, we're getting a pretty tight fabric. Like it's not see-through at all. So I'm wondering if this is closer to like, I don't know. I tried doing the wrap test to see what gauge it was, and it said that it was still a fine fingering weight yarn. And as you can see, here's the bamboo pop sock, and here's the vegan yarn. They look pretty similar, honestly. So maybe it is. It's just the actual feel and the texture of it feels a lot stiffer and harder to work with. So it does a lot better on these slightly bigger needles. I did the vanishing whatever that's called, where you're like pulling the stitches and then it like closes up, kind of like a magic loop if you do crochet. I did that, did the regular increases for the crown. I did realize like a few days ago that I've been doing make one lefts wrong. So like my whole knitting career, I've been doing it wrong. I thought that I had it down, but if you look, you see that where it's like kind of gapy on my make one left. You can see a little bit better. Right there, there's like holes where there's not holes on the make one right. Yeah, I've been doing make one lefts wrong just forever, and I didn't realize it until I saw there was a visual on Pinterest, on my Pinterest page, where it showed that the make one lefts twist the same way that the make one rights do, just like one's like this and one's like this. And I looked at my my make one lefts, and there is not a twist. It's just a hole. So maybe this will be the inside of the hat, and I will do better next time. But honestly, from here you cannot tell. And once it's doubled up, because like I don't know if you're familiar with the Musselburgh hat by Ysolda Teague, I believe is her name, or how you say it. But once it's doubled up, you cannot tell at all. Like it literally is just like a piece of full fabric. But yeah, I really love this colorway. This is one of their workshop colorways. So I don't know if I don't think they're gonna sell this exact one again, but I think the speckles are so fun. That's what really drew me to this, this yarn. You got just a ton of different colors, but the overall like impact of it is kind of like a pink, a very light white pink with a whole bunch of speckles on it. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's so pretty. I think it'll be a really good hat. Super cute. Yeah, I don't know who this is gonna go to, but I think it's gonna be a good Christmas present. I'm doing just an adult medium, so it'll fit pretty much all of my friends and family. So we'll see who gets it. It's not the softest yarn, but I think it'll hold up. And this is also machine washable and dryable. So I think that's ideal. So cool. Those are my works in progress. Hopefully should have this sock done next couple of weeks. I'm not stressed about it. This is just sitting at my house. This one is next to me on the couch. And then this is in my purse. So I did about this much yesterday at work when I was on the treadmill. I've been trying to knit on the treadmill, but I've been trying to up my fitness game and going too fast, and I'm scared I'm gonna poke myself in the eyeball. But when I'm walking just in general, like when it's no longer 110 degrees every single day in Virginia, I will be going on nice little hot girl walks and knitting. And that takes me into my acquisitions, which include my yarn carousel. Oh my god, this is actually like one of my favorite things that I've ever owned. I think my husband got this for me for our anniversary. It's our 2-year anniversary of marriage in August. It is also our 4 years together anniversary in August. So he got me this yarn carousel off of Etsy. I don't know who the seller is, but whoever it is. Oh wait, there's something on the bottom. Deerwood Lane. Sorry, it took me a second to read that font. Oh god. So there's Deerwood Lane. She made this. It is absolutely gorgeous. The pink magnolia pattern. It's up here on this. And then it's on the base. It is so beautiful. It is so beautiful, and it's exactly what I wanted. And then faux leather strap, so that sits here, and then as I'm knitting, it spins, and then my yarn just comes off super easily. I'm super happy with it. I've taken it to the farmer's market. I've walked around the neighborhood with it, and it is just so easy. I hang it up on the hook in the car, and then it just spins. I put it on at my desk at work. I've been putting my phones, like here's the table. I've been putting my phone right here and then sliding this over here so that it's hanging off the table. And then I'm pulling it that way. And that's been so nice. It's been incredible. So highly recommend. But if you notice, this is this is caked up. And I did not previously have a way to cake things up. And that brings me to my second acquisition, which is my new ball winder. This was incredibly expensive. I got this at my local yarn store. I talked with the lady there. They're so nice. They're incredibly sweet. But yes, I spent $80 on this yarn winder, and it is like super heavy duty, high quality. Like all of this is like metal, and like I had to screw in a whole bunch of stuff. I feel very good about this. Like, it's so fun. I'm so happy with it. So I did this. I caked these up. I caked up my white ball of yarn that I then dyed indigo. There's a couple others that I went ahead and caked up. I have a Totoro speckle color from Vegan Yarn in their other fingering weight base, not the sock base, but another cotton fingering weight base. I'm gonna be making a hat for my little brother once I'm done with this hat. Probably cast that on, or maybe the socks. Maybe after I'm done with these socks, I'll cast that on if I don't feel like making a pair of scrappy socks. We'll see. Went ahead and caked that up, and I really love it. It's great. I do think I need to get a smaller base though, because this base is massive and it kind of makes the holes for like my tiny sock yarn like a little too big. So I'm wondering if there's a smaller one that I could, because this just comes off. I say not able to get it off. This does pop off. Maybe I have to like twist it. Oh yeah, I'm done. So this just comes off, and I think I could probably get a smaller one just to stick on here. I'll have to look on their website and see. Otherwise, my little brother has a 3D printer, and I could probably convince him to make me one of these. So that's, yeah, all of my acquisitions. Oh, there was one more little business that I wanted to highlight that I really, really liked. Oh, here it is. Okay. So I went to my local yarn store. I might have shown these, but this is my Notions tin. My mom gave me the tin. She just had one laying around. I have my stitch markers, little progress keepers. I have my little scissors, my needles. I have a thimble in here. My big thing of needles, cable needles. I can fit a whole bunch of stuff in here. Oh, also these little scissors that my husband got from his grandmother used. They need to be oiled up. Oh, let me get the little stitch markers off of them. Hold on. These little foldable scissors that my husband's grandmother, who is a seamstress, used. So I have those in there also. But I wanted to decorate my tin with something cute. And at my local yarn store, they had these little stickers. And they're so cute. You see, you have a little yarn mushrooms and a yarn sunflower. My husband's favorite flower is a sunflower, so he picked that one out for me. And these are by Camp Stitchwood, camp.stitchwood on Instagram. Hold on. You cannot see that. I'll put it in the description also, maybe, if I remember. And she's got a ton of cute stuff. She mostly does like accessories for knitting. And she had these in the yarn store, in my local yarn store. But she also sells online. So if you like these, please go support her. They're adorable. I love them. Yes, so that was my acquisitions. I have not bought any new yarn. I do not need to. We are good for a bit. I have some plans. I do need to make that hat for my little brother with the Totoro speckle yarn in the fingering weight base. I think it's a cotton and bamboo combination, which I really like. It's one of my favorite combinations. There's another pair of socks that I want to make. They're actually patterned. I've never done that before, so I'm a little nervous. But I have actually quite a few pattern socks in my favorites on Ravelry. So that might be the next move. I've also been on a bit of a dyeing kick, and I have so much white yarn, so might do that. But yeah, I think that's everything that I wanted to say. Yeah, after this, I think it'll just be rambling, so I might cut it here and say thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you making it all the way to the end. Please let me know if you've been working on anything super fun, if you have any non-wool yarn that you've been really into recently. I also don't use acrylic because it also gives me a rash. But if you have any like plant-based yarns that you really like, I'm super interested. Always looking for new options for me. Yes, thank you so much for watching. I've been having a really good month with my crafting. Hopefully your summer is going really well. It's very, very hot here. I have not been going outside. There's bugs and heat, and it's really bad. So hopefully this time next month, it'll be August. It is halfway through July, so I might wait until September to film again. Depending on if I have anything exciting to say, maybe I'll do it before then. But hopefully it'll be cooler. It'll be cooler. Maybe, yeah, fewer bugs. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.